Databricks is a cloud-based unified data analytics platform. It is basically designed to simplify and accelerate the task like data engineering, data science, machine learning, analytical workflows. It is built on Apache Spark and it integrates seamlessly with cloud storage and other data tools that helps to provide the collaborative environment for the teams to process, analyze and visualize massive dataset efficiently. Databricks in itself is a fully managed service and it is available on the cloud like AWS, Azure and Google Cloud. The key features of the Databricks are it is unified platform. It combines the data engineering, data science and machine learning into a one platform. So you don't have to create the different accounts for a different task. So in this video, we'll see the Databricks, how to create the Databricks workspace. In the entire season, we'll use the Microsoft Azure Cloud. So first, we need to create a Microsoft Azure free account. So here I am putting my Microsoft account user ID and I am logging to the portal.azure.com, and here you can start with an Azure free trial. You'll go to the Azure Databricks. You can't do anything without this free trial account, so I am creating the free trial by clicking on start and try Azure for free. Here you need to fill up some details of you, and you have to add your card. It will not deduct any money for the Azure free account. Whenever you will go to the pay as you go subscription, then it will charge as you will use the Azure resources. So here you can see my verification is completed. I have to check some of the check boxes. Here you mentioned that you won't be charged unless you move to pay as you go. So you can see my free account is created. Now I will close other tabs and here I will search for Databricks, and from here I will create a Azure Databricks service. It will create basically Azure Databricks workspace. For this we need subscription. I already have the basic subscriptions, and I will create a resource group to work on the Azure Databricks. I will put the workspace name. And the region I will keep same. Pricing tier I will keep premium because we need the role-based access things. And other thing I will keep as it is, and I will review and create. It's validating the Azure Databricks workspace. Validation is successful, and now I'll create the Azure Databricks workspace. It will take few minutes to deploy this Azure workspace on Azure. Now my workspace is ready. I will go to resource, and from there I will launch the workspace. So Databricks basically has the Apache Spark integration. The Apache Sparks are built on the top of the Spark, which is very popular for the distributing, computing, and the data processing. Here you can see we have the compute tab. So Databricks has a notebook where we can write code in multiple language in an interactive way and execute it. But any notebook cannot execute on its own. For execution, we need this computation. So for this computation power, and the computation power is going to provided by the cluster. Cluster provides the computation power. So here I am creating this cluster basically, which will run your logic, and this computation power uh, comes from the cluster, and this cluster is highly scalable. So here I am creating a single node cluster, but if you want you can create 2 node or the 200 node cluster. Now I am creating the notebook, you can see. I will name it like the first example of the Databricks. And here you can see the language is selected by default Python. And here if you see, if I click on the connect, here I have the cluster which I just created. I will connect this cluster to this notebook, and here I will run some Python code to execute, like the print hello world. And you can see it's executed and hello world printed. Now I'll show you how to interact with the external data source. Here I will use the ADLS Gen 2 as your Delta Lake Storage Gen 2, where I will put some CSV, and I will transform the data, and uh, I will put the end results as a CSV into a directory into the ADLS. So here I am creating a storage account. I put the name Databricks 1234 job examples, and I am choosing the ADLS Gen 2. Here I will choose the LRS, and it's for the backup and archive. And here it's important to enable hierarchical namespace. It enables files and directory semantics for big data analytics workloads and everything to work in. So make sure you check this checkbox, and you can leave the other option as it is, and you can create the storage account. So the storage account, it's initiating to create, and it's submitting the deployment. So our storage account is ready, and I will go to the storage account, and here you will find option containers. Here I will create containers like the customer hyphen analysis. And inside this container I will create two directory. one for the input and one for the results. And inside input directory, I'll upload some input files like the customer CSV, where we'll have the customer sample data to process in the Databricks. Next, I'll go to the access control. Here I need to assign the Databricks to this uh, storage account. The I have to assign the role so that the Databricks can read or write data to this storage account. So the role will be the blob storage contributor or storage blob data contributor. So it will allows for the read, write, and delete access to the ADLS. And from the manage identity, I'll pick the Unity catalog access connector. So it's assigned. Next, I'll go to the Databricks. So I'll open the Databricks workspace, and there I will uh, create the external location, or I will establish the connection between the Databricks and the Azure Data Lake storage. So here I will log in with my ID. So here we have this catalog. So if you click on the catalog, you will see the options like external data, and here we have to create the credentials, which will contains the connector ID. So I will get the connector ID from here, from the manage resource group. You will get the Unity catalog access connector, and the resource ID, basically the connector ID. I will paste the connector ID and I will create the credentials. But here you can see I am facing a issue like the please provide a valid ARM scope entry ID. The entry ID is not valid, and when I search with in the Microsoft site, it's mentioned that whenever we'll create the ID, it will create as the guest account, and if your users shows the ext has ext in the user principal name, you are the guest account and you won't be able to establish connection between the Azure Data Lake storage to the Databricks. So I'm checking that my user is guest or not. So from here you can see from the users, I have this users Surojit Malik, and if I click on it, from the UPN I can see this is the guest user. So by logging with this user in the Databricks won't help to establish the connection between the ADLS and the Databricks. So we have the solution and we have to apply the solution here. And here you can see we have the solution step by step. So here it's mentioned why this happens. So basically it creates the tenant ID as the guest, and we have to create a new user which will not be guest. From here he'll create a new user. We'll put the username like uh, name at the rate. Here I am putting the Databricks jobs. And display name I'll provide the Databricks job. To identify it, the auto generated password I will keep, because after signing anyway I have to uh, reset my password. And here the role will be the global administrator. Here I will add role. So here the global administrator can manage all aspects of the Microsoft Entra ID. I'll create this new user. So this new user will not have the access to whatever we created from this ID Sulojit Malik, right? The subscription and the storage account, all the things. For that, we need to assign it as owner. So I will sign out from this account and I will log in as this new user. And here I need to update my password. And next I need to configure the MFA, which is mandatory in Azure now. So Microsoft, I need to sign MFA using the Microsoft Authenticator app. So you need to install the Microsoft Authenticator app on your phone and have to scan the QR and have to approve from your phone. Say here all is done. Next we have to switch to our default directory, the default tenant or the guest accounts, and from there we have to add the role assignment to the new user to owner, so that it will get access to the whatever we created. Now I'll go to the Azure subscription, and inside Azure subscription we have the access control IAM, and here I have to add the role assignment to the new user. So here we have this add role assignment. And in the privilege administrator roles tab, you will find the owner, and here it will be the user. So I have to select the members, so Databricks job, and I will add it. And here I have to mention some conditions, like if this user wants to add a role to other user, then need some permission kinds of thing. So yeah, this is the constraint role, allow user to only assign roles you select. Now I will review and assign this role to this new user. Now inside role assignments, I can see the Databricks job as the owner. Next, I need to verify. I will log in as the new user. So my user is the Databricks job. So I'll switch to this user and I'll check the subscription and all the resource groups have access. So inside as your subscription one, I'll go to the resources, and here I can see all the resources which I created from the Surojit Malik, the default user, the guest user, and here I can launch the workspace with this newly created users Databricks job. And now I'll try to connect the Databricks to this external data source, the ADLS. I'll go to catalog. I'll browse the external data. Next, I will go to the credentials and create credentials. I'll get the connector ID from the Unity Catalog Access connector. And now I'll create. And this time you can see it's successfully created. Next, I'll go to the external location and I will create the external location. Here I'll put the storage account details. My storage tab is the ADLS. And here you can see the URL format we have, the EBFSS colon double slash the container name we have to put and add the storage account name. So I'll go to the storage account. I'll copy the container. So this is our storage account name. Next, I'll go and get the container name. our container name is the customer analysis. So the storage account name at the rate, the container name at the rate storage account name .dfs.code.windows.net. I have to paste it to the URL, and the storage credentials I will select the whatever storage account we created, the credentials we created just now. So yeah, it looks good. Now the external location also created successfully. Now I'll browse the external location and see. You can see the directory here, the input and the results. So if I browse the results, we don't have any files there. And if I go to the inputs, I should have the two files, the customer.csv and salesdata.csv. And if I go to the test connection, it's connected successfully. Now we'll try to read the customer.csv in the Databricks. So first we'll create a notebook here where we'll load the customer.csv into the data frame. We'll make some transformations, and next we'll write this transformed data frame into a new CSV inside this container to the another directory where we have the results. First we need to start our cluster to work with. So I'll start the cluster, it started, and next I'll go to the workspace, and here I'll read the customer.csv. So let me see the path here, customer.csv path. So here the code is the spark.read.option, multi-line true, and I mentioned the full path here. The customer analysis is our container name, the storage account name, and the ADLS path slash input slash customer.csv. I'll display this data frame. I'll check it's loaded successfully or not. So while I run this code, you can see it's automatically detected our cluster, the single node cluster. Now you can see we have this data, the customer ID, name, email, country, but the header you can see it's not correct. So we have to add the options header group. So I'll show you if we didn't mention the header group, what uh, problems we'll have. So if I want to add a column seniority based on the age greater than 50. So here it's mentioned the column is not exist because there the column is not is there. So we have to make the options header true and load the data frame. So I'll use here the AI to write the code for me. So I mentioned the put header equal to 2 and it's put the header options header true. Now if I load the data frame, you can see the our actual header the column name is present. Now I'll execute this code where I will add a new column seniority based on the age. Now I'll display the data frame and let's see if we have this column, newly added column, the seniority we have, and you can see we have the correct data there. Now what I'll do, I'll write this transform data to a new CSV file into the results directory. So I'll first mention the result path, and we have the results. Next I will write this data frame write dot mode override. If we have any files, then it will override this file, and it will put this. So let's execute it. It's executed. Now let's check in the directory itself. In the results directory, you can see we have those files, and we have this part file which is generated from the Databricks, and I will download and see if we have the actual input and the newly added column, the seniority. And you can see we have this. So it's transformed, and it also put the transform file into this into this results directory. So yeah, that's it for this video.